We know the legal profession is demanding, it's competitive. And let's face it, it's so easy to look at others and feel like you're not measuring up. I've been there. I've seen a colleague's flashy new car or heard about another's big win and think, why not me? But I learned that comparison is a game you can't win because it's based on a distorted view of reality. Their success doesn't diminish yours, and you can break free from this cycle. Early in my career, I was obsessed with matching another attorney's trial success rate. I worked longer hours, took on more cases, and nearly burned out trying to catch up. Then I realized something crucial. While I was focusing on his path, I was missing opportunities that aligned with my own strengths. See, the real danger of the comparison trap is not just the stress that it causes you, it's that it blinds you to your unique advantages. It forces you into a one size fits all definition of success. It steals your energy from actual growth opportunities.
Welcome to the Free Lawyer Podcast. I'm your host, Gary Miles.
Do you ever feel like you're falling behind in your career? Like everyone else is achieving more and moving faster and somehow doing it better than you? If so, you're not alone. Do you know many lawyers report feeling trapped in a constant cycle of comparing themselves to their peers? I was one of them. After 40 years as a trial lawyer and managing partner, I discovered something surprising. The more successful lawyers became, the more they struggled with comparison. And today I'm going to share with you the exact strategy that helped me and so many other lawyers break free from that trap of comparison. I'm Gary Miles. I'm a lawyer and a coach, and I've been where you are for over 4 decades. I lived the challenges you're facing, from being a trial lawyer and a divorce lawyer to a managing partner at Huseman, Jones and Miles. I've experienced the relentless pressure to measure up. Now, as a coach for lawyers, I help attorneys just like you find freedom from these mental prisons. See, I used to compare myself to other lawyers constantly, wondering why I wasn't as confident or as successful or as accomplished as they seemed to be. But here's the truth. Comparison is truly a trap, and it steals your joy. Today, I'll show you how to stop comparing, how to focus on your own success, and finally thrive in your legal career. By the end of this video, you will have the tools to build a fulfilling and joyful practice on your own terms. So let's talk first about the comparison trap. Let me ask you, do any of these thoughts sound at all familiar to you, or thoughts like them? I wish I was as confident as that partner. She's a much better trial attorney than I am. Everyone else seems to be moving up faster than I am. Those comparisons steal your joy and they hold you back from your true potential. We know the legal profession is demanding, it's competitive. And let's face it, it's so easy to look at others and feel like you're not measuring up. I've been there. I've seen a colleague's flashy new car or heard about another's big win and think, why not me? But I learned that comparison is a game you can't win because it's based on a distorted view of reality. Their success doesn't diminish yours, and you can break free from this cycle. So let's dive deeper into what I call the comparison trap. After 4 decades in law and coaching other attorneys, I've seen this prison destroy a more promising career than almost any other challenge. So here's what this trap really looks like in our profession. First, it's the prestige issue. You see a colleague make partner at a prestigious firm, and suddenly your own practice somehow feels inadequate. You start questioning every career choice you've made. That was me. I graduated top of my class. I clerked in federal court, and I went to work in a small firm. Everyone else is in big law. And I started comparing my firm's reputation to those larger practices, completely overlooking the unique value we provide to our clients and the freedom and independence and autonomy that I had and the experience that I got. The second is the social media illusion. LinkedIn becomes a highlight reel of others' victories, major case wins, speaking engagements, awards. But what you don't see are the countless hours of preparation, the setbacks, the sacrifices. I've coached partners from prestigious firms who look so successful online, but privately they were struggling with burnout or dissatisfaction or perfectionism. And three, the numbers game, billable hours, client roster, revenue. We turn everything into a measuring stick, don't we? But here's what I learned the hard way. Those numbers tell an incomplete story. I've seen solo practitioners with smaller caseloads who are far more fulfilled, successful, and happy than AmLaw 100 partners. Let me share something personal. Early in my career, I was obsessed with matching another attorney's trial success rate. I worked longer hours, took on more cases, and nearly burned out trying to catch up. Then I realized something crucial. While I was focusing on his path, I was missing opportunities that aligned with my own strengths. See, the real danger of the comparison trap is not just the stress that it causes you, it's that it blinds you to your unique advantages. It forces you into a one size fits all definition of success. It steals your energy from actual growth opportunities. And it creates artificial timelines that simply don't serve you. But here's the good news. The moment you recognize these patterns, you can begin to break free. Understanding the comparison trap is the first step towards what I call the freedom framework, an approach to redefining success on your terms. In a moment, I'm going to share 3 powerful strategies that will help you break free from this trap. These are the same techniques I use to help other lawyers find their authentic path to success. But if you're recognizing yourself in any of these patterns, don't wait to take action. I'm offering a free strategy session where we can discuss your specific situation and create a personalized plan to break free from the comparison trap. Click the link below to schedule your call. So now let's talk about the freedom framework. The first part of the framework is turning that envy into empathy. This is what I consider the most transformative mindset shift in your career, moving from envy to empathy. In my 40 plus years of practice and coaching, I've seen this one shift completely transform careers. When I was managing partner at Hughesman, Jones & Miles, I noticed something fascinating. The lawyers who celebrated their colleagues' successes consistently performed better than those who viewed them as competition. So let's understand the trap of envy. Let's talk about what professional envy really looks like in law. These are some of the typical triggers. The colleague who seems to win every major case. Your classmate who made partner before you did. The lawyer who has a bigger office in the corner or better clients. And that lawyer who's always getting media attention. And what are the hidden costs of the envy trap? Your professional relationship with those attorneys is damaged. You miss opportunities for collaboration. Your job satisfaction is reduced. You have greater stress and anxiety, and you have impaired decision making. Early in my career, I found myself envying a colleague's seemingly effortless courtroom presence, and that envy actually prevented me from learning from his techniques. The turning point came when I shifted from comparing myself to understanding his journey. So what's the advantage of empathy? Here's what makes empathy your secret weapon in law. The first is professional growth. You'll have better client relationships, stronger peer connections, more referral opportunities, and a better reputation. But not only that, you'll develop personally. You'll have less stress and anxiety. You'll like your career more. You'll have better work-life balance, and a clearer vision of your future. So let me show you exactly how to make that shift in your daily practice. Replace "why not me" with "what can I learn?" Move from envy to curiosity, from comparison to curiosity. Begin to view success as abundant, not scarce. The fact that someone else got something doesn't mean you can't. And instead of comparing, build connections. Let me show you how this works. When you hear about your colleague's big win, instead of thinking, I should have a case like that, try reaching out to congratulate them. Ask about their approach. I've seen so many mentoring relationships and referral opportunities grow from that simple shift. So here's how you do it. We begin with a morning mindset reset. Start each day by acknowledging the strengths of three of your colleagues. Identify one thing you can learn from a peer and focus on it being a profession of abundance rather than scarcity. 2, connection with your colleagues. Reach out to congratulate your peers when they win a case. Ask about their challenges in their case and what they learned from it. And maybe share your own vulnerable moments and offer support and encouragement without expecting anything in return. And finally, most importantly, there's perspective shift. The critical shift in your perspective. When you start to feel envy, get rid of your old thought, which is, they're so lucky to have that case. And instead adopt a new thought. What path led them to that opportunity? And this is your action step. Reach out to learn about their journey and see what you can learn from them and congratulate them. So let me give you a 30-day plan to shift from envy to empathy. In week 1, begin with awareness. Document what triggers your comparison. Notice when you start to feel envious and identify patterns. Week 2, understanding. Reach out to 3 colleagues you admire. Listen to their stories. Find out what their struggles were and find common ground with them. Week 3, connection. Attend one networking event with a focus on learning, not comparing. Share a vulnerable moment with a trusted peer. And find a colleague who's struggling and offer some support. And week 4, integration. Practice a perspective shift exercise daily and start, in other words, instead of thinking, why are they so lucky to have that case? Think, what was their journey that took them there? Celebrate the success of others genuinely and look for opportunities to collaborate. You'll know the shift is working when you feel joy at the success of your colleagues, when your network starts to grow organically, when referrals increase naturally, when your stress levels decrease and you sleep better at night. As we move into our next strategy, remember this. Every lawyer you envy has had their own struggles. They've had their own story. And when you shift from comparison to curiosity, you don't just become a better lawyer, you become a happier one. The second pillar of the freedom framework is your personal milestones and mastery. See, we're going to move from comparing ourselves to other people to comparing ourselves to ourselves earlier and seeing how we've grown and changed. Let's dive into what I consider the backbone of breaking free from comparison, your personal milestone mastery. This isn't about tracking wins. It's about redefining what success means to you. I've discovered something crucial in the lawyers that I've coached. Those who master personal milestone tracking, those who compare themselves to themselves are more likely to report career satisfaction. And here's why it works. The first is you have a clarity about your progress and your growth. You can see it. You can see your successes. You can see how you've gotten better. You're motivated through personal achievement. It's your own success that gives you motivation. And you become free from relying on validation externally, from relying on the approval of others, from compliments from others, because your motivation comes from within. So there are 3 steps to this. The first is we have a weekly wins journal. And here's how to structure it. You'll have a daily quick capture. Write down client interactions that went well, or negotiations that were productive, or good decisions you made. Look at what skills might have improved or how you might have grown personally. Then have a weekly review with these categories: your professional growth, your client relationships, your practice development, your personal well-being, and your learning experiences. And then we want to have a quarterly growth map. The first was our weekly wins. Now we have a quarterly growth map. Have 4 quadrants, your skill development, such things as what new abilities have you gained? What skills have you refined? Where have you stepped out of your comfort zone? The second quadrant is building relationships. What new professional connections have you developed? What client relationships have you strengthened? And what developments have you had with your mentor or with a mentee? The third is the growth of your practice. What improvements have been in the process of your handling your cases? What gains do you have in efficiency? How have you started to deliver your service in a more innovative fashion? And the final quadrant is your personal development. What have been your work-life balance achievements in that quarter? How have you managed stress better? What has been your progress with health and wellness? And the final is your annual achievement portfolio. And build that around these key areas: your professional growth, cases handled, skills acquired, any certifications, speaking engagements, things of that sort. The development and growth of your practice. Are your clients satisfied? Have there been any innovations in your process? How has been your revenue growth? Are you more efficient? And finally, your personal evolution. What work-life balance achievements have you had? What stress management improvements have you had? Any professional relationships or community involvement? See, when you look at this each year, when you do this annual achievement portfolio, you will see your growth. You'll see the areas where you've improved, and you may see areas for improvement. But what you're doing is you're comparing yourself at the end of the year to where you were at the beginning. And you'll run into some common challenges and situations. You may say, I don't have time for this. Well, I'd say just start with 5 minutes of daily reflection. Second, you may think nothing seems significant enough to track. My solution is just begin with the little wins. Start small and build up. And 3, I keep forgetting to journal. Well, link it to an existing daily habit. Maybe you get your morning coffee and that's when you do your journal. Breaking free from comparison starts with this mindset shift. Stop asking, am I as good as they are? And start asking, are you better today than you were last year? Remember, every lawyer's journey is unique. When you master tracking your personal milestones, you will free yourself from the burden of comparison, and you'll begin to truly appreciate your own growth, your own development. So the third, after we move from envy to empathy, and we've mastered our personal milestones, the third critical pillar of the Freedom Framework is a value alignment process. This is a cornerstone of lawyer fulfillment, the value alignment process. I've found that misalignment between personal values and daily practice, your daily law practice, is a root cause of most professional dissatisfaction. So this is how we're going to try to align your law practice with your values. The first is to discover your values. What are your core professional values? Is it how much money you make? Is it the prestige? Is it the title? Is it the corner office? Is it freedom? Is it independence? Is it autonomy? Is it being able to choose what area of law you practice in? Is it finding fulfillment, satisfaction out of who you represent? Is it being able to choose your own clients? Is it getting home in time to see your kids' softball games? Identify your core professional values. What are your most important values? And then complete this 3-part assessment. Let's think about what brought you the greatest joy in your practice. What were your most satisfying professional experiences? What made you feel most fulfilled? What are the common elements in those? And note what made those special and meaningful to you. And then let's compare it with the points of friction in your practice where you felt frustrated. What were some situations that caused you stress or dissatisfaction? What values of yours might have been violated in those situations? And look for the patterns of misalignment, the things in your practice that cause you stress that violate your values. And let's think about your future. What do you want your desired professional impact to be? What do you want your ideal client relationships to be? And think about this. Try to envision your perfect practice day. See, what we've done is we've seen what brings you joy and fulfillment. We've seen what causes you stress, and we're painting a picture of your future. And then we want to audit your practice. Evaluate your practice in these key areas. Case selection. Does the case you handle, do they align with your values? Are you serving your ideal clients? Do your cases energize you or do they drain you? Allocation of your time. How much time goes to activities that align with your values? Where are you experiencing misalignment and what activities need adjusting? And assess your relationships. Do your professional relationships reflect your values? Are your client interactions fulfilling? Does your network support your authentic goals? You know you're achieving value alignment when your decision making becomes clearer, your energy levels increase, your client relationships improve, your work feels more meaningful, and your comparison triggers decrease. Remember, success in law is not about matching someone else's path. It's about creating your practice that honors your values and brings you genuine fulfillment. When you achieve this alignment, comparison naturally fades away because you are too focused on your authentic journey to worry about anyone else's. So, as we wrap up, I want to share with you something I've learned after 4 decades in law and coaching other attorneys. The moment you stop comparing yourself to others is the moment your true potential begins to emerge. So, what have we explored today? We've talked about how the comparison trap holds talented lawyers back. We've talked about the transformative power of shifting from envy to empathy. We've discussed the importance of tracking your unique milestones, and we've set up a process to create the freedom that comes from aligning your practice with your values. But here's what's most important. This isn't about feeling better. It's about becoming the lawyer you're truly meant to be. I've seen it happen time and time again. Lawyers who break free from comparison don't just find more satisfaction, they build more successful practices. They develop stronger client relationships, and they create the life they actually want, not the one they think they should have. So now I have 3 challenges for you. First, take immediate action. Don't let this be just another video you watch and forget. Schedule your complimentary strategy session with me right now. Click the link below. I have a few spots available this week, and I want to help you create your personal roadmap to freedom from comparison. 2, join our community. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on notifications. Every week I share practical strategies that help lawyers like you break free from the mental prisons holding you back. And follow my podcast, The Free Lawyer, where we dive deep into these transformative concepts. And 3, share your story. Leave a comment below the YouTube video and share your biggest insight about the episode. Or I will post on LinkedIn today about this podcast and make a comment there, letting me know what your biggest insight was. Or you can send me an email to gary@garymiles.net. Your experience might be exactly what another lawyer needs to hear right now. So remember, I've been where you are. I have felt the weight of comparison. I've felt the pressure to measure up, the constant feeling that somehow you're falling behind. But I've also discovered the freedom that comes from breaking free. And I want that for you too. Don't wait for someday to start your journey to freedom. Click the link below now to schedule your complimentary strategy session. And together, we will create a clear path forward that is authentically yours. This is Gary Miles reminding you that your unique journey is your greatest strength. See you in our next episode, but hopefully I will see you in our strategy session first. And as always, please be well, be safe, and be free.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode of the Free Lawyer Podcast. Wherever you are listening, if you enjoyed what I shared, please leave me a rating and review. I would appreciate hearing more about what you like best and what topics you might like me to cover in future episodes. If you are interested in experiencing a more fulfilling and a more successful life, please contact me at www.garymiles.net, where you can schedule a free discovery call with me so I can learn more about you, your challenges, and your dreams. I appreciate each and every one of you, and have a great rest of your day. Thanks to all of you for your support.